What's going on, world? This is the Fat Podcast, Fellas at the Table. Just a podcast for men, helping out other men become better men. I'm your host, Booklemarwilson, and I'm relaunching this podcast. I'm relaunching this platform because honestly, I've been in men groups, prayer groups with men, and we are suffering in silence. And I truly believe that God has placed this platform of Fellas at the Table on my heart, and I think I'm spending so much time trying to gather up men to say, all right, now we're ready. When it's God saying, you start the platform, you start the process, and he will bring the right men to the table so we can have these discussions and help out other men to be better men, better fathers, better husbands, better boyfriends, better brothers, whatever. So please forgive me. I know I always ask for your forgiveness and that I'm not consistent when it comes to this podcast, but I have learned these past couple months that in order for you to be successful or to have a clear conscience, avoid stress, is that you have to create a system. And I have created systems in other areas in my life, but not this one. And I'm the first to admit it. I lacked on it because I felt like I got so much stuff going on. But you know something? That area is where a lot of people love me at. So I'm relaunching my podcast, the Fat, F-A-T-T, Fellas at the Table, now. This is going on, and I will be dropping a new episode every Wednesday, okay? Every Wednesday at 6 p.m. And just to help men get through whatever situation they're getting through. And if you want to be on this podcast, if you want to share a story, if you want to share testimony, anything, or you're looking for advice, please email me at booklemarwilson@gmail.com. So that is really that in a nutshell. Of one, I apologize for my delay, my lack of effort, and you know, I know that God has placed this message for me to help other men, and even myself. I'm not saying I got it all down packed, I got it, I'm good. No, I still need to work on things in my life. And I get around men that speak my language, that understand what I'm going through, that understand that this is something that, you know, if we don't have each other back, we're literally setting ourselves up for failure. And we need to start helping each other, getting on the calls every day, whether that's morning, afternoon, night. Get on the calls, put it out in the open, no judgment, and we're able to help each other, hold each other accountable for our actions. We're out here trying to wing it, and we are just running up and down. So, the Fat Podcast, Fellas at the Table, just a podcast for men, helping other men become better men. That's all we're trying to do. All right, so let's get into it. All right, so what I've been up to this year has been a year that I have truly focused on my vision board and things that I want to accomplish for myself, I want to accomplish for my family, I want to accomplish for my marriage. And I'm proud to say, and I still got a lot of stuff to accomplish, but I have focused, laser vision on things that I need done in my life. And that's where this episode is. What's your vision? What's your vision? And are you still focus on your vision? Are you still trying to accomplish these goals and dreams? Because we have the energy, the last week of the year, the last day of the year, I'm cutting this person off, I'm gonna stop doing this, I'm gonna stop doing that, and then a couple weeks later something hits and now you back to what you're doing. You're back to those old habits. And so what I'm telling you is that we have to stay tunnel vision on our goals. We're gonna have to sacrifice some things. We're going to have to cut some people off. We're going to have to cut some things off. We're going to have to get uncomfortable being uncomfortable. Okay? We're going to have to be uncomfortable being uncomfortable. Why? It's because if we're comfortable, we don't put that much effort. When we're comfortable, we don't see any excitement anymore because we know the outcome. We know what's going to happen. And I'm telling you today, step into the fear. Step into the reasons why you need to get this done. Step into that area in your life where you know that you've been talking about it for so long. You've been procrastinating for so long that at this point, there's no more procrastinating. There's no more talking. There's no more thinking. There's only action. We need to talk. We need to start taking actions for our behavior. We need to start taking actions for our thoughts. We need to start taking actions for our habits. And so I'm here today to tell you that we need to step into our fear and make the best of it. If we fail, we learn. If we don't try, we never know. All right? Other things that, I'm proud, I'm super happy about because I wrote it down. I made it plain, vacations. My family's huge on vacations, taking vacations and stuff like that. This year, I've been to New York twice. One for my niece's birthday, another one for my birthday. Shout out to my wife for throwing me a surprise birthday party. And then, we visit Myrtle Beach. And the reason why I'm speaking on this because when I was young, my mom took me to Myrtle Beach, and I'll never forget it. I think Myrtle Beach was my Disneyland. And I wanted to relive that, and I wanted my kids to experience that in their life because Myrtle Beach was definitely a place where I wanted to always go back to. And it just, life started hitting. And so when I got the opportunity to do it, I'm like, okay, even if my kids don't look at it like that, I want them to have that place that they could say, well, when I was younger, we did this, Myrtle Beach, boom, boom, boom. And it's like, why? Because we have to get out that mindset that we don't do that. We be like, oh, well, you want to go? Oh, no, we don't do that. And you know something? If it's brought up, that means God wants you in there. Understand something? Like, when you do something, you're saying something like where you want to go, and you tell yourself no because either that was told to you. What you're doing is repeating the cycle. So we need to break that generational curse and say, all right, I'm going to go camping. Even though I've never been camping, I always see it on TV. I'm going to do this. Why? Because I never did it. And so I want to experience it. And you know what? I love it. I love it. Another thing that I did this year that was on my list was that I published my children's book. I've been writing this children's book for 2 years. I put it out there to my family that I got a children's book, and everybody's like, oh, that's cool. Oh, hey. But now that they see it in fruition, now they like, my brother's an author. Yo, my best friend's an author. Yo, my friend's an author. Yo, I know an author. I can put that under my title, motivational speaker, relationship coach, empowerment speaker, however you want to label it. But then also you put an author. I'm really an author. Like, I have my book, you know, and I'm not done. I'm already working on the next book. Why? Because I truly believe whatever you want to accomplish in life, you have to take the first step. You have to take the first step. If you can take the first step, I promise you, the next step ain't that hard. Then the following step, and the following step, and then eventually you just start walking. You know, and so I'm looking forward to 2023. I'm looking forward to it because not only for the steps I'm gonna take when it comes to the things that I fear, because I'm not gonna tell you something I wouldn't do. So I'm stepping into my fear now, when I was supposed to be doing this podcast months ago. I'm stepping into it and saying, nah, I'm doing it now. What's up? I have nothing to fear but myself. So now I'm stepping into it. I'm looking forward to the cruise and stepping into that. Why? Because we love cruises. We love traveling. You know, and I'm not thinking about what's happening. I'm thinking about what we can do. I'm stepping into that fear of launching my book next year and put it on a scale and bring it to Target, bring it to Barnes & Noble, bring it to Amazon and say, hey, here's my book. What's up? I'm stepping into that field where people saying, you crazy. Yup. But I got crazy faith. Shout out to my man, Pastor Mike. I'm stepping into that. I'm stepping into that world of more speaking engagements, more schools, more corporate, more personal development. And I'm asking you, what are you planning to step in? What are you planning to step in? And whatever it is, that's your walk. That's your purpose. Don't lose focus on what you need to step in. And the thing is, we're so scared to step in. But we'll lift our leg, but we will not put it back on the floor. And I'm telling you, you're not walking alone. You're not walking alone. You might have to walk this road alone for a little bit. But you're not alone. You got God with you. Yeah, I know you want your boys, you want your girls, you want your family, you want your friends to walk with you. But I'm telling you, you got to do it first. And the right people be with you. But if you think you out here and you're just going to be like, well, I'm not going to do nothing until so-and-so comes and we get this and we get this and this is perfect. And I promise you ain't never going to get it done. So I'm telling you, walk in your fear. This is the only way you're going to start breaking glass ceilings. This is the only way you're going to break those generational curses. This is the only way you're going to stop talking yourself out of stuff. You have to walk in your fear. I'm telling you, if you started a vision board, I need you to go back to it, whether you need to add some stuff, take some stuff off, or you need to really be like, yo, how much have I put into this vision board? How much effort have I put into this? I haven't put that much. I need you to put effort. You got 2 more months. You give yourself, right now we're in November, I need you to get it done ASAP. I need you to get this done ASAP. And even if you just get the process going. Do that first, and then let's move on. Like, I need you these last 2 months to stay focused. And if that means getting off of social media, get off. If that means cutting people off and not talking to them for these 2 months, stop talking to them. If that means you literally going cold turkey on stuff that you enjoy, whatever it is, do it. Start now. Don't start January 1st, January 2nd, January 3rd, February 1st. No, start now. I'm telling you, if you start now, that habit becomes a culture. That becomes a norm to you. But we got to start doing it now. And the reason why I'm really pressing this podcast, like I said, fellas at the table, helping men become better men, and this is just a podcast for us to really have a dialogue. It's because we're suffering in silence. We're suffering in silence, and this thing is that when we do speak about it, we speak about it when it got to the point where it's anger. The tone is changed, and we're like, we're stuck in this space where we're like, yo, this is not healthy. Where you can't sleep at night, or you can't think, or you can't function, you can't be around a person because you got so much built up in you that you will explode. And this is why this podcast is needed, because we're going to help each other avoid those situations, those topics, those habits. We're going to fix each other. So I'm looking forward to getting with men and having these dialogues and helping each other and bouncing ideas and interviewing people. So I'm really hoping that you look out for this podcast. Again, I am on Instagram, The Fat Podcast. All right, that's TheFattPodcast. So the Fat Podcast. All right, I'm on Instagram. Email me if you are interested on being on the podcast at booklemarwilson@gmail.com. All right, and like I said, this podcast is just for men, helping out other men become better men. This is the Fat Podcast. I'm your host, Lamar Wilson, motivational speaker, relationship coach, spiritual walker, author, and I'm here. I'm gonna be doing these podcasts, these episodes weekly, every Wednesday at 6 p.m. You'll catch them on my YouTube page at Lamar Wilson. Okay. Subscribe, like, comment, share it, and let's make the best of our life, count. Let's make it count. Let's make everything we got some bad past. All right, cool, but you know what? We can't talk about the past. We're going to talk about the future. It don't help bringing up the past, even if it's good. Let's talk about what we're doing right now. All right, guys? It's your boy Lamar Wilson. This is the Fat Podcast. Fellas at the table. Again, just a podcast for men, helping other men become better men. I'll see you next week. Peace.